Hello y'all, and welcome to YoungFolk Knits. Today, let's create some iconic knitwear moments. Hello y'all, and welcome back to YoungFolk Knits. My name is Casey, and on this channel I mainly like to share all about my love for fiber arts. So there's lots of knitting, crochet, sewing, spinning, and whatever else we can find to get up to. I also live on a small farm here in Arkansas where my husband and I and our children are beekeepers. We love to raise chickens, animals, gardens, and spend time outdoors here in the foothills of the Ozarks. So sometimes I will share about that as well. And if any of those things sound like your cup of tea, then make sure and subscribe so you won't miss out on any new video content. Something I have been thinking about is doing a video series where I talk through some different iconic knitwear moments through the ages and look at different knitting patterns that can recreate those knitwear pieces. I love looking at iconic fashion photography from the last 100 years. I think it is fascinating. There are so many fashion moments that are still very applicable to today's style, and I think that is just incredibly cool. So if this sounds like something that might be fun, let me know in the comments if I should continue this as a series. I do have so many different inspiration pictures. There's no way I can do it all in one video. So I think that I'm gonna pick a few fun ones for today, and then if y'all like this idea, then I will keep the series up and do some more videos here and there on iconic fashion moments. So let's start back with one of the most iconic film stars of all time. Y'all are gonna get super tired of the word iconic. Siri, what are some good synonyms for iconic? Notable, illustrious, outstanding, celebrated, recognizable, acclaimed, memorable. I'll try to mix it up. Let's talk about Marilyn Monroe. So around 1960, she made a movie called Let's Make Love. And in that movie, she wears a super fun, super classic, cabled Aran fisherman sweater. And she wears it while she's singing and dancing, I guess, with some black tights and heels. And it's a very memorable moment from film history. I think this sweater is classic. It's the ultimate cable knit sweater. There's lots and lots of variations on it. I mean, it is the classic cabled sweater, but one that immediately comes to mind is the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. I love that this sweater even has that panel down the center. It has a classic folded collar with 1x1 rib, and it has those classic cables and moss stitch on the rest of the body. This is a worsted weight gauge at 20 stitches per 4 inches, and it has a great size range with a bust circumference from 40¼ inches to 65¼ inches. I think that the key to getting the same look as Marilyn Monroe is to knit this longer. So it definitely comes down over her hips and stops there. I don't think that she just has tons and tons and tons of positive ease, but you definitely would want a little bit of positive ease to get the same look. And I think it would end up being a pretty versatile sweater, but I do love this pattern, and I think it's a classic, and honestly, it just would perfectly recreate the look. During the same time period, interestingly enough, Marilyn Monroe was having an affair with then President JFK, who was married to another style icon for the ages, and that is Jackie Kennedy, aka Jackie O. Jackie Kennedy was all about fashion and style and aesthetics. And one sweater that she wore, I think is really cool, is a knitted sweater that showcases a lot of texture along with some fringe. Recently, the new issue of Pom Pom magazine, which had Candace from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers as the guest editor, had a very interesting pattern called Chinook Winds. I think this is the perfect pattern to give you all the vibes in Jackie O's outfit. First of all, I'm seeing lots of texture. I'm also seeing the fringe, which we gotta have the fringe for this outfit. Definitely gotta have it. I love that it has the knitted collar, and I also think that something key to pulling this sweater off is a neutral color. I think Jackie Kennedy would only have worn this in a neutral color, and somehow this sweater, it has so much eye-catching details from top to bottom that it really does need a creamy or gray but very neutral color to let those details shine. I think that the color used in the sample is absolutely perfection. I love it. It's a DK weight, and the suggested yarn is Concept by Katya Cotton Yak. So that would probably be a really comfortable sweater to wear as well. But I love the detail, the texture. It's just so much fun. And if you wear this outfit, it's gonna be memorable. Another knitted top that Jackie O was captured on film wearing is a turtleneck ribbed short sleeve sweater with some beautiful cables on it. And there's a picture of her riding bikes with her son, and I think this is a really fun picture. Of course, she has her classic huge sunglasses on that she always wore. But I think that the key to recreating this top is a bit of minimalism and elegance. So a pattern I really like for this is the Lunity, which is by Teresa, I guess is how you say that. So they used Brooklyn Tweed Puri, which is a fingering weight merino yarn. And this has some lovely raglan shaping, just like Jackie O's sweater. And it also has a lovely broken rib. So you've got lots of texture, some really nice ribbing details. And I just absolutely love how this pattern has the rib raglan increases that go straight up into the neck, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Again, I think a creamy neutral color would really keep the elegance of it. I also think a black would look stunning in this pattern as well. Okay, while we're in the 60s, let's talk about Audrey Hepburn. I absolutely loved watching Breakfast at Tiffany's my entire childhood. And there's one scene where Audrey Hepburn wears an absolutely lovely cowl neck, funnel neck, very distinct necked sweater. And I'm not sure if this is like a jersey knit sweatshirt or if it's, you know, a knitted sweater, but I do love it. It's very distinctive. And the fact that she's knitting while wearing it, I mean, come on, we need to make this sweater. A couple of patterns I actually really like to recreate this look. One of them is called Such a Winter's Day by Heidi Kermeyer, and they used Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which is a worsted weight yarn, and it has a lot of woolen spun lofty qualities to it that I think really help to make the neck on this sweater just stand up and keep its shape. It's knit with a 19 stitch gauge. It does also have some really nice texture to it, and I think those textured stitches, that was so hard to get out. I think that those textured stitches also help to give some definition and some stiffness to the neck to help it keep its shape. I think that this would be so cute, a little bit cropped so that it hits right at the top of your waistband if your pants are not high-waisted. If they are high-waisted, you know, it would come a little bit over the top. That's the way I'm envisioning it. I think it would be so cute with dresses or high-waisted skirts. This could be a very cute throwback type of outfit. Another pattern that I think could give you similar feels, but is, you know, slightly different from the original, is by Julie Knits in Paris. It is called the Tuileries pullover. I'm not really sure. It does have this cowl neck, and it's a lovely ribbed cowl neck. And I love how the modeled pictures of it are with a bit of a shorter sweater lengthwise, and the sleeves look to be around bracelet length, and I really like that. I think that this is a beautiful example of understated elegance, and I love that neckline. Another movie that I absolutely loved my whole young adult life is Love Story. This is such a heartbreaking movie. Ugh. The music in it's so good. Anyway, this movie starred Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal, and the fashion in it just lives on forever. I love every outfit in this movie. Ally McGraw is just like the film version of Jackie O. They both had that dark hair. She just looked so good in everything. I really love this picture of her with a classic ribbed turtleneck. This is something that has never gone out of style, and I don't think it ever will. I mean, it is perfect. So a great pattern to recreate this look is the sweater number 16 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Now, the stripes are great. I love the stripes, but I really think that in a solid color, this is a timeless piece of knitwear. I think 30 years from now, you could still wear it. Your daughter could wear it 30 years from now. It's gonna look so good. Creams, grays, black, browns, caramel, every color, all of the neutrals. It just looks so good in. So this is a 21 stitch gauge. In her sample, she used a light fingering and a lace held together. I would absolutely love to make this sweater in a yummy ochre brown color. Oh, I hope I make one. I hope I make one day. Even Jackie O loved a good turtleneck. Moving into the 80s. The iconic Jennifer Beal flash dance off the shoulder sweater. So there's nothing that says 80s quite like an off the shoulder sweater. I think that this could be achieved with lots of patterns, but I think the key to this is one that does not have a cinched in ribbed collared neck, and one that has enough positive ease that it can be worn very loosely. There are a couple of patterns that I think really fit the bill and will make it easy to achieve this look. And the first one is the Dentel Deuce sweater by K-Dree. So this is a DK weight 20 stitch gauge pattern, and I love how it has the sort of boat neck, wider neck opening, and it has no ribbing at the neck. It looks like it almost gives that unfinished edge, which would hopefully allow it to roll just a little bit. This pattern suggests, let me see, how much ease does this pattern suggest? So the pattern suggests 5 to 10 centimeters of positive ease. I think maybe 5 to 10 inches of positive ease. Is that too much? That would help give you the look that Jennifer Beal has in a flash dance. Okay, another super fun pattern is one that is worn by Princess Diana, and it is known as the Black Sheep sweater. I thought that this was a really fun all over patterned sweater, but I couldn't find a very close match in a sweater form. I think that this would be fun turned into mittens. So a great pattern to do that with is the Chubby Sheep mittens. This is by H.J. Kim Otsuki, and it is a fingering weight colorwork mitten pattern. So I think this would be so fun to knit with some bright red poppy colored yarn. Do the same thing as was on her sweater in the mittens. I definitely think I would be more likely to wear, you know, sort of an all over patterned theme on mittens than I would in a sweater. So I kind of like the accessories idea. There are so many other inspo pictures that I love, but I'm gonna save them for later. And instead I'm gonna end with Clueless, the 1995 cult classic film with Alicia Silverstone. So there's just so many fashion moments in this movie. I mean, it's just one after another the entire time. But one of them I really love is all the sweater vests in it. There's quite a few sweater vests, actually. One moment I love, though, is whenever Alicia Silverstone's character is wearing a red sweater vest and Stacey Dash is wearing a blue one. I love that it's sort of two takes on the same style as well, because one is a crew neck and one is a V-neck. So for Alicia Silverstone's vest, I really like the Stockholm slipover, which is a pattern by Petite Knit again. This is a worsted weight 19 stitch gauge, and it's just very minimalist, modern, traditional chic. So I feel like depending on the color you pick and the way you style it with an outfit, you could have endless outfits with this one piece. I think, though, that it's a great time to use a pop of color if you want to. It's just a vest. It's not all over sleeves. You know, I think the poppy red color would be super fun in this vest. That being said, I definitely tend towards neutrals and fall hues. I love a good neutral colored sweater vest. The V-neck pattern that I really like is the vest number 2, which is by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It is a 19 stitch gauge as well, and it has a really lovely V-neck ribbed collar. Just something so tidy about a V-neck decrease line right at the center. I would probably make mine a little bit on the shorter side, not super cropped, but I don't like a long sweater vest. I like it a little bit shorter and one that doesn't have a lot of positive ease. That's what I really like with that particular style in mind. Now, Cher also wears a colorwork sweater vest, which is very academia vibed, and I have shared the Academia by Skandir Knits before. Love it. One of my favorite colorwork sweater vests. But I also really like the Willipend vest, which is a pattern by Gudrun Johnston, and it is in the Shetland Trader Book 3, which I have that book, and it is absolutely amazing. I want to make everything in it. This is a fingering weight color work, I mean all over color work Fair Isle pattern, so keep that in mind. But I do think it's lovely, and I think with those academia vibed colors, you can't go wrong ever. It's a style that has lasted forever and will last forever. Okay, y'all, I have so many more patterns I want to share, but if you enjoyed this video and would like me to create more in a series, then be sure and let me know in the comments. Also, if you like videos like this, make sure and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any new content, and it really does help my channel out so much. Thank y'all so much for coming back and hanging out with me again. And until next time, happy knitting, y'all.